Love came to my door with a sleeping roll and a madman's soul. He thought for sure I'd seen him dancing up a river in the dark, looking for a woman to court and spy.
We dig, 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 dig in our mind the whole day through. To dig, 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 dig is what we like to do. And while we dig, we always sing. For when you dig, there ain't a better thing than a tune, than a tune. You can whistle or can tune. Hi ho, to make your troubles go. Just keep on singing all day long. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. For if you're feeling low, you positively can't go wrong with a hi ho.
I was born in Quebec, Canada. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. But other than 6 months, I have spent my entire life here in Muncie, Indiana. About 10 years on the farm. It was the funnest job you'll ever hate. I mean, you know, we had to be out there every day, no matter what the conditions, feeding the hogs, feeding the cows. It was a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of fun, too. You really felt like you were getting something done. I wanted to be away from the city. I was kind of, waiting on the apocalypse at that point, and I wanted to get out in the county and be away from town. My parents have a picture of me at 5 years old, bent over into the console stereo, changing the record, and Piggy Poco, that was my favorite. I'm sure that's because of my dad. He was a huge Nat King Cole fan, Herb Alpert, and they played records all the time. I mean, they listened to music regularly. Of course, there wasn't that much TV back then. So records, music was the only other really at-home entertainment. Me and my sister were in a dance academy, the Cole, a dance academy, and we did square dancing, and we were pretty good. We went to the Louisville State Fair and performed, and that was really my first musical. Plus, I sang like a little number when I was just like 6 years old on the stage, and that was really taken after my dad. He always was singing around the house, and so that was just a natural progression for me, and I thank him very profusely for my love of music. I worked at Musicland, was my first actual music store, and I was just a part-time employee, and of course I loved it because music was very important to me. Well, that was right after I worked on the farm, and so I kind of went from working on the farm to working in the music store, which kind of a different transition. Well, I worked at Musicland for about 2 years and eventually rose to manage the one here in Muncie, and then I got out of Musicland and went to Karma, which was right across the street, and was there for about 10, 11 years, till they went out of business, and then had to start my own business. Took my last $300 of unemployment money and borrowed $300 from my dad, and we went at it. We rented a space. We had to go in and tear down the walls so we could, open it up and make it into a store-like spot. But it it was pretty amazing. It came together in about 30 days. And just, you know, we had these bins and all this stuff in storage, and we knocked those walls down, moved those bins in, and borrowed some product from my own collection and started her up. I couldn't find a job that looked like I would have any chance of ever having any real, you know, future. So I thought I'd better do something for myself. And, you know, the jury's still out on whether that was, you know, really the smartest thing in the world, because it's been tough, you know, and it's still tough. Muncie's a very tough economic place in which to try to do what I'm doing. We had to move from our first location because it was the building was sold to make way for a parking lot for one of the local school projects. So, you know, after 6 years, we had to get a new spot or go out of business, and it came right down to the very end. I mean, I thought I was going out of business until like about a week before I moved. And plus, I really wanted to stay downtown. I thought that was where I wanted to be, where I wanted to have my business. So we cast around for a while, and then luckily came across the place that we're in now. We're still moving in. I mean, you know, we're still lining things out and trying to learn how it's going to finally be. But it took 6 years to get into the other one, so I imagine it's going to take a couple of years to get really comfortable in this one. It really broke me down kind of mentally and physically. You know, I'm not good with change, so this was a big change, and consequently I sweat quite a bit about, you know, how it was going to go and whether it was going to be okay over here, and it has been okay. It's been a tough Christmas. It's been kind of slow December and November, but up until then things were really going pretty good. So I'm hopeful, and, you know, I'm encouraged. You know, I think we'll be able to continue. We're going to do our damnedest to keep it in business and, you know, sacrifice whatever it takes. It is a labor of love, so, you know, until they come and nail the door shut, I'll be here.
He just don't worry about nothing, 'cause he's got his own.